What's going on, car family? I'm Ben Wayne. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm borrowing the 2017 Mercedes-AMG SL63 from Atlanta Classic Cars. This particular model is shown in obsidian black, and it has a beautiful Designo sand leather interior with black ashwood accents. The Mercedes SL class has been manufactured by Mercedes-Benz since 1954. It's defined as a grand touring automobile. And what a grand touring automobile is a luxury and high performance automobile capable of traveling at high speeds over long distances. So the SL class has a lot of roles to fulfill, and it has to fulfill each role extremely well. So today, let's go over some of the exterior and interior details of the Mercedes-AMG SL63 and see how this ride has been engineered for excellence. Starting with the design, one of the most important visual characteristics of the SL63 is its aggressive appearance. And that's aided by AMG body sculpting in the front of the vehicle and the rear. And speaking of the rear, the SL63 features a subtle spoiler on top of the trunk lid, which enhances stability at higher speeds. The trunk lid also features a carbon fiber inner structure to assist with weight reduction. Let's talk about a characteristic of the SL63 that you can't see, and that is the body structure. The body structure is nearly entirely composed of aluminum. Stamped, casted, extruded, and thermoformed aluminum to be exact. The only steel in this body structure is for the windshield frame. The result of this is nearly a 300-pound weight reduction and a 20% increase in rigidity when compared to the 5th generation SL. By far, one of my most favorite features of the SL class is the retractable hardtop. And for 2017, the top can be operated at speeds of up to 25 miles per hour and takes just 20 seconds to be raised or stowed into the trunk. And it all comes together extremely nicely, and the operation is fairly quiet. You can literally charge admissions to this. I have to do it again because it's just that cool. Now, when the top raises, look at how the rear glass pivots 180 degrees. And that's to help preserve trunk space when the top is lowered into the trunk, so you can still store items into the trunk if you need to. Very functional. For further enjoyment with the top down, the SL does come equipped with a wind deflector. And what this does is prevent turbulent air from entering the cockpit. Let me explain to you how this works. Have you ever seen somebody driving a convertible and the hair is just flying everywhere, especially from the back to the front? Well, the reason for that is that there's a high pressure environment outside of the vehicle and a low air pressure environment inside the vehicle. We know this from basic fluid dynamics. So the equation for dynamic pressure is dynamic pressure equals 1/2 rho v squared, where rho is the density of your fluid. In this case, our fluid is air, and v is the fluid's flow rate. So the flow rate of the fluid will be higher outside of the vehicle when compared to inside of the vehicle, meaning the dynamic pressure will be higher outside of the vehicle. So when you have a high pressure environment outside of the vehicle and a low air pressure environment inside the vehicle, that higher pressure is going to want to come back into the car, creating turbulence. So this wind deflector is here to diffuse that. Now that's going to create a more quieter environment for the occupants, meaning you don't have to scream to the person sitting next to you just to have a conversation. It makes top-down enjoyment that much better. Let's hit on some of the suspension characteristics of the SL63. It does feature the AMG Performance suspension based on active body control. So that allows the vehicle to respond to body roll within milliseconds. It also allows the vehicle to actively counteract pitch, dive, and roll during aggressive driving. And going even further, when traveling at higher speeds, it lowers the vehicle for increased aerodynamics and efficiency. In addition to an AMG Performance suspension, the SL63 also features a limited slip differential. Now, I've mentioned the limited slip differentials in a lot of my reviews of previous AMG models, so I will go ahead and explain exactly what that is in this video. A limited slip differential is best explained by first providing a scenario where a vehicle has a standard or open differential. A vehicle with a standard or open differential provides the same amount of power to both wheels. Now let's say one of those wheels is in contact with the surface with a low coefficient of friction, such as ice or mud. That wheel will receive all the power in the form of high RPMs and low torque. So the wheel that has contact with a higher coefficient of friction won't receive enough torque for the vehicle to move. Now, in the case with a limited slip differential, it will prevent all the power from being allocated to one wheel. So the wheel that does have enough traction will also receive enough torque to move, and it will also keep both wheels in constant rotation, also allowing the vehicle to move as well. Let's cover the wheel, tire, and brake setup of this particular SL63. You're getting Continental tires that are 255 up front, 285 in the rear. For the wheels, there's a staggered setup. You have the AMG cross-spoke forged wheels that are 19 inches up front and 20 inches in the rear. Now your brake rotors are cross-drilled, slotted, and internally ventilated in the front and back. But up front, they're 15.4 inches in diameter and grasped by 6 piston calipers. In the rear, they are 14.2 inches in diameter and grasped by a single piston sliding caliper. Now, I want to point out that carbon ceramic brakes are an option on this vehicle for an additional mere $9,000. Now, in my opinion, carbon ceramic brakes aren't really necessary. They can be a little bit too grabby when driving a vehicle through town, and the iron brake rotors that come standard provide plenty of stopping power. Under the hood, we have the handcrafted 5.5 liter bi-turbo V8 from AMG we've all come to know and love. It produces 577 horsepower at 5,500 RPM and 664 pound-feet of torque at the low engine speed of 2,250 RPM to 3,750 RPM. Now this engine is connected to the 7-speed AMG Speed Shift MCT transmission. MCT meaning multi-clutch technology. It uses a wet startup clutch and eliminates the need for a torque converter, resulting in increased efficiency, and is capable of 100 millisecond shift times. Now all this is connected to an AMG Performance exhaust system, which is a true dual exhaust setup. It uses flaps that open and close based on engine speeds. So now let's hear how that sounds. So now that we've heard how awesome the engine sounds and covered some of the exterior details of this vehicle, let's close the hood and take a look at the interior. Now I must say, I am a fan of this particular SL63's interior. It features AMG Designo Napa sand leather interior, and it's just completely awesome. The seats are extremely comfortable. They feature ample side bolstering. They also feature active multi-contour. So when you're cornering, the side bolsters will inflate or deflate to provide you with constant lateral support. They're 12-way adjustable and feature 3-position memory. At the top of the dash, you have smooth black leather, your infotainment system, 2 large air conditioning vents, controls for your infotainment system, radio, media, navigation, and telephone, controls for your seats. There are 3 levels of heating and cooling for your seats. Further down, controls for your air conditioning system. Under here, you have 2 cup holders. Further back, your shift lever, and then your button to control your individual driving modes, such as Comfort, Individual, Sport, Sport Plus, and Race mode. Of course, you're getting an extremely gorgeous steering wheel with perforations on the side. The top and bottom are fitted with smooth black leather, feels good to the touch, nice and thick in my hands, and I really like how the bottom of the steering wheel has been squared off. It adds to the overall aggressive appeal found in the rest of the vehicle. Behind the steering wheel, you have 2 thick aluminum shift paddles, the left paddles to downshift and the right paddles to upshift. Taking a brief look at the door panels, they're covered in that smooth black leather, and I really love the way this Designo sand leather looks against the black leather. It's excellent contrast in my opinion. You also have a strip of black ashwood trim, your aluminum door handle, lock and unlock buttons, controls for your 12-way adjustable seating, which have 3-position memory. Towards the middle portion of the door, you have controls for both windows and your side view mirrors, and then there's some storage on the bottom. That was a brief tour of the 2017 Mercedes-AMG SL63. This car looks absolutely stunning in obsidian black, And I really love the Designo sand leather interior. It's a great high contrast combination. I would like to give a special thanks to Atlanta Classic Cars for allowing me to film this spectacular SL63. If you're interested in a Mercedes-Benz, or this Mercedes-Benz in particular, please be sure to reach out to my friend Jesse Cannon-Wallace at Atlanta Classic Cars. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll catch you in the next one.